Welcome to Christ Church.
Christchurch has had a huge effect on my life. I started coming to church when I was 3. I'm now 53, so 50 years of giving thanks for this wonderful church, its ministry, and the support that is given to me, my journey, and my own family and my parents.
Hi, I'm Ruth. I'm the minister here at Christ Church. Our church is a growing and worshipping community who love Jesus. We are Bible-based, Spirit-filled and creative. We are delighted that from 2018 we've grown from 35 to 55 last year, and now post-pandemic 45 in person and 30 online. Midweek we offer home communion to all those housebound and plenty of pastoral care for every member. Bible study and prayer is super important to our church, so we host Toast and Christchurch prayer every week. During the pandemic, over 160 people joined our online services. We saw a growth in participation in worship. 39 different members took part in our services. Every member is valued at Christchurch. We saw a growth in prayer and pastoral care. Our Zoom coffee and prayer time sustained us and developed a true concern for God's justice. And thirdly, we saw a growth in mission. We connected with local people through social media. We offered a prayer labyrinth as a way of socially distancing in prayer. We now offer hybrid services with live streaming freshly installed at church.
I have to say, one of the greatest things Christchurch has done for me is given me a life away from a terrifying heroin addiction and crack cocaine addiction. In 2016, on the 17th of April, I was baptised. And since that time, I've been clean and sober for just over 5 years, apart from one slip I had, and that was 3.5 years ago. And for me, it's been the best thing I've ever done for myself.
We offer space to local community groups at church, and we support a community payback scheme helping offenders to rehabilitate. And we have 60 children in our uniform groups: Beavers, Cubs, Scouts, Rainbows, Brownies, Guides and Rangers.
I was a stranger and Christchurch welcomed me.
Welcoming others and reaching out is at the heart of who we are as a church. We do this through cafes at seasonal times, fun days and a schools ministry. We are keen to resource the local church with 10 members helping out other churches in the Baptist and URC. I'm doing a doctorate on discernment, and so I'm always keen to be fostering growth in theological reflection on mission. Christchurch was formed in 1994 by New Southgate Baptist and Fry and Barnet URC joining together to become a local ecumenical partnership, or LEP. Becoming a LEP is a bit like getting married. Suddenly there are 2 of everything: 2 churches, 2 halls, 2 manses. As an LEP, we entered into a shared way of living, shared worship, a shared congregation and shared responsibilities. So one church was sold and the other kept, and one manse was sold and the other kept. Here 2 small declining churches were able to help each other and begin to grow. Whenever a property was sold, those funds were then held in trust by each denomination. Our church is a beautiful Grade 2 listed worship space with fixed pews and 1 small meeting room. Behind the church is the original 1883 lecture hall, which is in a terrible state of repair. So prior to 2020, all missional activity took place in the Baptist hall, half a mile away from the church. However, quinquennial reports on the URC hall and the Baptist hall stated that both were unusable for missional activities, and both buildings failed risk assessments even for the winter night shelter. This is how the URC hall looks now. A way forward was discerned by our church members to sell the Baptist Hall and host all our activities on one refurbished site. Here are the plans for our project. We want to build on our thriving ministry and mission to create a range of children and youth and family programmes. Without dramatically improved buildings, we will not be able to do this. This is why we want to rebuild for mission. Our development project, you can see here, has two parts. The blue parts are new builds. This is a new cafe, foyer, kitchen, office and a whole suite of meeting rooms. And then the pink sections are completely refurbished halls and other meeting rooms. We create a garden in the middle, marked in green, which will be a wonderful space to play and to pray in. The entire site will become accessible. Our wonderful architects are CPL, and we have a great team of surveyors and engineers working on this project. We have all the necessary permissions to start development. We hope to complete the sale of the Baptist Hall in autumn 2021, tender the project next year and begin work autumn 2022. To date, the project has cost us £195,000. We expect the total project to cost £2.4 million. We hope our funding will be £1.2 million from the sale of the Baptist Hall, £1.2 million as a URC grant, and £27,000 from drawdown funds held in trust at Thames North. We will offer a number of financial and risk controls at local, regional and external level. And we will also seek other funding sources once we have exhausted internal supplies with a number of funding trusts. Our church site is held in trust by URC Thames North Trust. The Baptist Hall is held in trust by the London Baptist Property Board. So we ask Thames North Trust to offer capital contribution to maintain a Thames North Trust asset. We are happy to use the funds from the sale of the Baptist Hall for the development of a URC building, but we please ask that this responsibility is shared 50-50.
Since joining Christ Church in 1992, I thank our Lord God that my whole family had thrived spiritually, mentally, and physically. The impact of the nurture by the past and present ministers, the leaders of the uniform groups, the prayers, especially during our difficult times and years, the wonderful church members, and the numerous church activities had contributed to our thriving in the church. I look forward to the greater opportunities the new building will afford us.
We are open to the leading of the Spirit for the purposes of God at Christ Church. We learnt in the pandemic that the church has to be flexible now and to seize the moment for growth. We are confident of Jesus Christ continuing to build his kingdom here in Friar Barnet, and we are truly excited at the prospect of all that God may achieve through our service of him. Thank you very much for watching this video, and we hope that you'll be able to support our application for the redevelopment of Christ Church.